Hey YouTube, it's me again, Gigi Jones, back with another vlog. I think I'll be doing these pretty frequently because I kind of have a lot to talk about, or just a lot on my mind. But I kind of wanted to make a video about dealing with your first and even your second period after having a miscarriage. No one told me how devastating your period or having your period would be after having a miscarriage. Currently I've gone through my second menstrual cycle since miscarrying, and I'm now going through my second period. TMI, I know, but someone out there needs to hear what I have to say. So if you saw my first video that I posted this weekend, I was talking about just like some of the feelings that I've had since miscarrying. Today I'm in a pretty okay headspace. Yeah, I would say I'm okay. I'm not feeling too sad about it or anything. Of course, today I should be 18 weeks, so that kind of has a little bit of feelings to it, but for the most part I'm doing okay today. But miscarried May 21st 2015. That's when I started bleeding, and I bled for maybe like a whole week, I think, or I know it was at least 6 days. Then I think it began to taper off. After that, it took me about a whole month to come on my period again. So I had my first period after my menstrual cycle. After my miscarriage on June 21st. And it was so devastating. It was like reliving the day of my miscarriage all over again. I think part of the reason why I was so heartbreaking is because I was really hoping to be pregnant again. Like, if you had a miscarriage and your desire is to, you really wanted your baby, you were ready, you may have a strong desire to try again right away. Some people may not. Some people may want to heal emotionally, or they may need to heal physically. If you had a D&C, I had a natural miscarriage, so my body eventually figured out that something was not right, and it expelled the gestational sac. But I really wanted to get pregnant right away. I had read stories about women who got pregnant again with no period in between. So I was really hopeful. I was symptom spotting. I was taking pregnancy tests to make sure my HCG levels had returned to normal, and they did. And I was just symptom spotting like crazy. I just knew that I was pregnant again. But my body unfortunately played tricks on me. I don't know, I feel like some of the pregnancy symptoms that I thought I was experiencing was just probably leftover hormones, or just my body snapping back into place. Like, I felt the same uterus popping and twinges that I felt right before or when I was pregnant. I felt those after my miscarriage, closer to the time of my period, so I thought I was pregnant again, but I think it's probably just my uterus shrinking. I experienced the creamy CM that's typically associated with being pregnant, and I had the creamy CM closer to the time of my expected period when I first got pregnant, so I thought I was pregnant. I had the high, if you check your cervix, if you're like a serious TTCer as they call it, then you probably check your cervix. So my cervix was high and soft and closed, and it felt the same way it did when I was pregnant. So I was like, oh, I just know that I'm pregnant again. And I just felt like, I had to be pregnant because my husband didn't want to try again, right away. We were kind of going back and forth with that. So I was just like, oh God, I have to be pregnant. And I felt okay. I felt okay with the hope of, thinking I was pregnant. So, emotionally I was okay at the time. And I'm thinking, I could do this. I can move on. I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah, I just had a miscarriage, but I'm straight. That blood came. And just the bottom fell out. I remember going to church that day, and everyone could see it, but no one really said anything. But when I spoke to people afterwards, they could see it. I was just done. I was gone. I just couldn't do it. I wanted to just break down and cry because it was just the disappointment of dang, it's real. I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant. I don't have the baby that I was pregnant with before, and now I don't have a rainbow to kind of, I guess, help heal the hurt or help me forget about the pain. And I had to just, you know, deal. It was really hard. I was depressed that whole week after having my first cycle. So like, if you have just gone through a miscarriage and you haven't had your cycle yet, you may not experience the depression that I felt, but just, you know, brace yourself for your first, you know, period. It may be really hard, especially if you're hoping to be pregnant right away and if you're getting your hopes up. Not saying don't get your hopes up, because hope is good. Hope does get you through, but your first period may be really hard. And then on to my second cycle after my miscarriage. We did actually try my second cycle. Like I said, we've been going back and forth about whether or not we want to have another child or not right away. Right now, we're not trying, but who knows? Anything can happen. But my second cycle, I was hoping to be pregnant, so there was the hope there, but I didn't psych myself up so much. And I also knew that my cycles were a little wacky. Like, after a miscarriage, your cycles may, if you were fairly normal, like I had a normal 27 to 28 day cycle. My cycles were like clockwork, which is how I got pregnant the first time, because we just timed it perfectly and boom. But after a miscarriage, your body is trying to figure itself out. So I wasn't sure if my cycles would be back to clockwork or not. It was back to clockwork, but with some changes. So my second cycle, I still had the creamy CM and the high soft closed cervix right before I came on my period, which kind of threw me off, because before my cervix was low and firm, which most women usually have low and firm cervix before they come on their period, and no CM, or really sticky and dry CM, which is CM means cervical mucus. But after having my miscarriage, it's changed. So it was like I was getting my hopes up a little bit, and then I started spotting on Saturday, which was, if my cycles had gone back to like the normal 27 to 28 day cycle, then I should have been coming on my period, like full out bleeding on Saturday. But I spotted instead, so of course I got my hopes up, like, could this be implantation bleeding? I really hope it is. So I spotted all day Saturday, I spotted all day Sunday. So I was really starting to get my hopes up, like, dang, this might be implantation bleeding, I might be pregnant. And then Sunday night, I started to bleed more, and I'm like, oh God, no, this is happening. And then by Monday morning, just pad full of blood. I'm sorry, TMI, I know, but this second time it wasn't as devastating. I did have a lot of like irritability and mood swings just from being, I guess, the PMS of hormones, but it wasn't as devastating this time. So my second cycle, or my second period, I handled it a lot better. I still have some feelings of bitterness from miscarrying. And then, you know, so many people around me are pregnant, and so that's really hard. You know, close people to me, people that I love are pregnant, and it's really hard, because it's like, you know, why me, God? Like, why do they get to keep or have their babies, but you had to take mine, or had to lose mine? So that's really hard. It's really hard. But I'm making it one day at a time. Like, you know, my counselor told me that, you know, grief, you go through the grief cycles in stages. You know, when I first found out that I was miscarrying, or that my baby wasn't there, I was angry and then depressed, you know. And so, you know, I've gone through those cycles several times: the anger, depression, acceptance, like accepting that, okay, I had a miscarriage, I gotta move on. And then something would trigger it, and I would be depressed again or angry again, and then I have to go. You know, it's just, your grief is going to come in cycles. So don't let anyone tell you how long you can take to grieve. Even if it's been years and you're still grieving, I mean, you carried a life at some point. I carried a life for maybe only one day, I don't know. The cells in my body that were creating a baby were alive at one point, and then they died. So I still carried life to a certain extent. I know some may disagree with me on that part, but hey, that's what I believe, and that's what I'm holding on to. I still have an angel baby. I named my angel baby We honestly believe that it was supposed to be a girl, that we were supposed to be having a girl. So we named her Christina. And on her due date, we're going to do something to, commemorate or remember her. So, that helps too if you name your baby and maybe even celebrate it, or him or her, on the day that you were expecting him or her, or the day that you had him or her, if you had a preterm labor or early labor. So yeah, just take it one day at a time. Hopefully those of you who are trying after a miscarriage, I pray that you will get your BFP soon. For those of you who are not familiar with the lingo, BFP means big fat positive, and I'm hoping for my BFP soon. God is cleaning me out right now emotionally so that I can be a really good mother. So I hate to say it, because no mother wants to hear this when they lose a child, that God knows best and it works out for your good. But I guess it's true to a certain extent. I guess, me losing my child, I guess it is working out in my favor, or in my good, or for my good. Yeah, it's a hard thing to say and a hard thing to hear. So I'm not going to tell you that your miscarriage is going to work out for your good, because I know you don't want to hear that, and that's not what you want to hear. But I hope that maybe one day you can come to the realization that it worked out for your good, in some way, shape, or fashion, even with the pain, because without the pain we can't grow. So yeah, I hope this helped someone, because it's helping me just talking about it. So peace.